I can tell you, I've faced severe consequences because of that, and I am talking to you based on my experience of my life. So you should really adapt these traits. They are very important, especially when you are working in large organizations. Okay, so let's quickly talk about so IBM Middleware Ecosystem. So this is where my area of the expertise are. This is where I've been working for the last 6 to 7 years now. So I'll be quickly talking about this ecosystem, what technologies are being covered here, and then we'll have a quick demonstration for this. Um, so you can see this, the education is not the learning of the facts, but the training of the mind to think. It's very important. So the facts are there in the books. You can always refer to them. You have to educate your mind to build that mindset to understand things, right? So IBM middleware product actually comprise of multiple technologies. So one of them is this IBM integration bus, or this has now been rebranded as IBM App Connect Enterprise. So this is actually a middleware product by IBM. So there are a lot of different other middleware products. So if you want to stick to Java, so Apache Camel is one of them. Red Hat Fuse is actually built on top of Apache Camel, and MuleSoft. There are multiple examples, multiple products which are available, right? So what I feel the distinguishing factors of this product is, again, this first problem can be solved by almost all middleware products, right? So they are actually designed to handle achieving your complex integrations quickly, right? So time to market. So what the reason of buying a product and actually doing that yourself within using some technology is the amount of effort that you need to put in, right? So if they are very simple integrations, you can go with that route. But if the complexity, especially in the large organizations where I've been working on, so they need these tools, right? So another thing which IBM Integration Bus or IBM ACE provides is pre-built connectors. So there will be different problems that you want to solve. For example, you might want to solve handle integration using files. These are now considered legacy integrations when you want to do some batch or bulk processing, right? So files are the preferred way of doing that. You cannot have a bulk payload as part of your API or web services, right? Because your payload has a limitation of the size limitation, right? So you are being provided a lot of built-in pre-built connectors, which you can use to ease up your integration. For example, you want to do integration with ERP systems, for example, SAP. So IBM Integration provides you those capabilities to do those integrations with ERP systems. And also, since it's if some of you are familiar with the financial background, have the financial background, they know that how ATM actually works. They operate at a TCP/IP level protocol, right? They are not very enhanced compared to the web services, which operate in an HTTP protocol, which is built on top of TCP/IP. So you can have that flexibility again within IBM Integration Bus to handle that low level the integrations, right? So sometimes you need that. And another important feature which really distinguishes this IBM Integration Bus is that it supports this polyglot programming. So it doesn't tie you to a particular language. It provides you the flexibility to write your code in Java if you are comfortable with it. If you are on Windows platform, you can even use .NET. And it has its own language for writing, which is inspired from SQL, which is eSQL, the extension of the SQL language. So if you are familiar with the database SQL programming language, then you'll find its eSQL very compelling and easy. Another important thing is this message modeling. So this is again a shining factor of IBM Integration Bus. It provides you that capability to build your message models on the data you have, right? So you do not need to write the logics validations within your code. You can actually build a message model and incorporate all those validations within the model itself. So that's really interesting and very powerful. And I highly recommend using that. Another product which gets bundled with this IBM Integration Bus so far is this messaging queue, IBM MQ. So you might have requirements for doing some asynchronous message processing. You can do that. There are requirements where we need guaranteed delivery and message persistence. So that's being provided by IBM MQ. And there are other models which it supports. For example, you want the publish subscribe model where you want an event to be generated, and that the generation of that events. So there will be multiple observers, and they want to be notified of that event, right? So IBM MQ provides you that. The last thing product, which is an IBM API Connect. It's an API management solution, which is being provided by IBM, and it allows you to expose your services securely. So I think a lot of people can argue that this can be done within IBM Integration Bus, but the amount of effort that you need to do is really significant. And also since it's a product that has been designed to specifically handle your APIs, it has a lot of components which are not really present as part of the IBM Integration Bus. It has a data power, which is again a separate product from IBM for hardening, for security hardening purposes. And also it provides you this API economy management, so you can really monetize your APIs. You can build plans and even have a web developer portal where you can socialize your APIs, right? So you do not have to provide documentation to everyone. So do you guys want to have this demo, or we can skip? I think we are running short of the time, and you want me to have this Q&A session first. Hello. So anybody else agrees with this person?
Yes, I think developing a services demo is
okay. So
yes.
Let me quickly jump to that. And I've been using this Linux for this demonstration purposes. And by the way, so if any one of you interested in learning this platform, IBM Integration Bus or IBM App Connect Enterprise. So in fact, I'll be using the word IBM App Connect Enterprise from now on. So this is the toolkit which is being provided. So you can actually do the installation of IBM Integration Bus or IBM App Connect Enterprise. So once you do that, it provides you this toolkit for developing your applications. So you can actually do your integration, develop your integrations within this this toolkit. So my installation of and it's the installation is pretty straightforward. I'll be sharing the link with you guys, and even I'm planning to have a complete training session which I'll be launching soon for this this product. So if you are interested, then you can enroll yourself, and it will be free. So I've installed this IBM App Connect Enterprise. It's a fixed pack. The number which you are seeing, it's the 11 version. So now the latest version is 12. I have that one as well. And the training will be actually based on version 12. That's the latest version. And the remaining numbers which you are seeing are the fixed pack. So IBM what does is they launch the fixed packs incrementally. right? So it is not the latest fix spec which I have currently installed. And what you can do is you can run this command to actually start your toolkit. This is what I did, and it has started the toolkit. So once you have this toolkit loaded, you will be provided this. It's based on Eclipse. So if you are comfortable with Eclipse, then it would be a lot easier for you to follow along, right? So it has different perspective which you can use. So I'll be creating an application because that's the simplest uh, service demo. So that's simply creating a project like you do in Java or Microsoft. So what I've done is simply created a project. So I think here what you have to understand is that you do not have to understand each and everything of it, but the crux, right? So first of all, you have to do is create a message flow. So message flow is it's mainly your orchestration, how you want that integration to happen, what will be the how that integration gets triggered, right? So for example, you want to expose a web service, so you have to use some nodes which supports that web service, right? And let's assume if you have a requirement for file-based integration, uh, service REST web service, let's call it. And again, this is not the preferred way of doing it right now. There is a specialized project for developing the REST-based web services. I'm omitting that for now because that would be that will confuse you guys more. Service flow. So this is the development perspective. So your application should have this, what is called the message flow. This is where you define your integration, right? So since we are using, we are exposing the HTTP service, a REST-based service, so we'll be using this HTTP nodes. So these are, so broadly categorizing nodes, we have this input node that defines the start processing of your integration, right? So I'm using this HTTP input node, which will trigger my web service. Okay. So this is one thing, and you have this, what is called the HTTP reply. So this is how we want to send back to our caller. So these are the two pieces which I've added. One is it will receive when the web service is called. You will be notified here, and the control is being. So you can see there is no input terminal for this particular node. So all input nodes do not have an in terminal, but all other nodes you will see there is an in terminal, right? So next thing what we do is, so this is what I wanted to show you guys. You can see that there are a lot of options which are available within this transformation, and you can see there's a .NET component as well, right? So this is when you want to use the .NET as part of your integration. You can even use this XSL transformation. There is a mapping node as available. You want to do things graphically, you can do that. What I'll be using is I'll be using this compute node, which is the eSQL programming language. And then you connect these terminals together. I will not be handling the exception at the moment, but it's always a good idea to have the exception handling in place. So let me do that. So all input nodes, you'll see there is a cache terminal. So you can use that for your exception handling purposes, right? And there is also so for example, if you want to if you are familiar with the with Java programming language, you can actually enclose your code within the try catch block, right? So similarly, you have that concept here as well. So you have this try catch node. So in case you want to recover and move along within your integration, so you can do that, right? So next thing I'm going to do is I'll use this default. So double click, it will create that module for you. Right. So what will be my input? I'll be defining here. So you can define on the node. So these are different properties. So REST demo. I'm going to call this. This will be my endpoint for the service, and whether I want to expose as an HTTPS service or not. Another important thing is how you want the message which is being received being parsed. So this is what I was telling you about the message modeling. So right now I am assuming a JSON message. So I have specified that here. Okay. So let's do one thing. Right now, what we do is I'll do is a pass through. So here, what I've done is simply copying the message. What have I received? I'm just sending, echoing back, right? So that's a very basic integration which I have developed. And let's try deploying that and see if there is a time I'll try to enhance it to incorporate some functionality. So you can see that it's get deployed. So this is my runtime where your integrations gets deployed. So within the course, I'll be talking about more in detail what each of these components are. So you can see that my application has been deployed. So one thing is, had I used that REST service, it would have told me what. So you can even do debugging. So I'll show you that later on. So another cool feature with this App Connect Enterprise is that you can actually uh, test your flows directly within your integration toolkit. So this is what we call the recording, so flow exerciser, right? So what you can do is test employee. So you can see that it has sent this message, and it has also received the same response, right? So it's just not very clear what has happened. So let's quickly dive. And it also shows you the path which it has followed within your integration. I think it got stuck. So let's quickly see if I can invoke that service. I think we do not have time, so I actually need to rush as well. So I apologize. So let me quickly force close it and see if I can. So, I mean, anyone of you has any questions, so feel free to ask me now. And so it's 7800 and should be able to invoke it. So it's REST demo. So it doesn't matter. It has to be just a valid JSON. So you can see that it has echo back that what I have sent, right? So you can see that it has a bunch of headers as well. So it's a valid HTTP request, and I've received a response. This- So now, in case you guys have any question for me, so let's quickly have that session, that interactive session, I think, which you guys wanted to have.
For me, when are we going to have that course starting that you are talking about?
The course which I was referring, so it will have actually two threads. One is for beginners and one for the advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So the beginner one, so I've few things to take care of that first. So what I'm assuming is that it would be hopefully I'll try to have it in the next week or the week after that. So it would be around. So you can assume the start of the September.
Okay. And we'll
Okay.
have access to this recording.
Yes. I'll be posting this recording as well. Are you available as a mentor? Definitely. So I think that's one of the really good question, which so as a fresh graduate, what we feel is that we are reluctant to ask for help. And even as a senior resources, we feel that what others that's my perception actually, and I'm sharing you my experience. Uh, what I feel is that I know everything, and if I go and ask that particular person what he would feel about me, uh, uh, he thinks of himself as an architect, and he doesn't even know a thing like that. So I think what we need to realize is that people are willing to help you, but you need to actually tell them that you need help. So what we do is we pretend that we know everything, we have an answer to everything, right? And that's not the case. We are human beings. We have our own limitations, right? And it's always helpful to have that second perspective. So feel free. I mean, ask me. I'll definitely try based on my availability again. Uh, so I mean, that doesn't have to be me, right? It has to be. So you have to find that person which is very easy for you to contact, right? You should be able to contact that person very easily. That should be
Oh, yeah.
your first objective, I feel.
Okay, Irfan, kindly tell me the course contents of your beginner course,
Mhm.
and will the workflow of your course, and what technology we are going to use there.
Yeah, at the moment I'm starting off with this IBM App Connect Enterprise course, where I'll be teaching first of all the basics of this tool, right? How to develop these applications, what are the different projects which are available, when to use which project, right? Then the message modeling. Then there's a concept of library where you want to reuse different assets within your integration solutions. right? So different integration concepts, right? So we will be talking about web services, we will be talking about file-based integration, we will be talking. So I'll be basically talking more about the common use cases, right? I will not be touching the TCP/IP protocol because that takes and requires a lot of effort and time, right? And also the ERP systems, because I might not have the availability of the ERP systems to actually show you guys the integration. But I'll be sharing the content. So so remember, I've asked you to fill that form. That's one of the objective that I wanted to understand your availability. And I've also have some initiative which I'm working on, and I'll hopefully you should start following me, and I'll be posting those initiative. The first initiative on my end is I'll be launching my own website. So you can see that aishazad.com. So unfortunately, I wanted to have that completed at least in a preliminary stages before this session, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. So that's. I hope I have answered your question.
Okay, where we can find that form and
Actually, that form is so if you try to enroll into this event, so there is a form that you have to fill.